all the way around. So it's unknown if there's anybody in the passenger seat or in the rear.
All right, now turning on to West Olympic Boulevard. You know, we saw a U-turn he made when we came on, but there was one about 2 or 3 minutes before that, before we were able to...
On their website right now.
Kind of looks like he's basically driving in circles.
Yeah, it appears that the driver doesn't have like a known place to go. He's
okay, it is on the
downtown
website.
LA
All right,
near,
I'm gonna switch us
near,
over to their site instead of this
France.
YouTube stream.
I'm trying to remember the name of the street. But it was near the 110 freeway. Directly behind it right now. He might be looking for a place to bail out right here because of the slow speed.
Yeah, I feel
here.
like this isn't going to last too long.
This might be a familiar area for the driver.
As soon as I turned it on, I was like, oh, this is almost over.
This is? It kind of looks like
we'll see what happens. We shall see. Is everyone here? Is this working?
Come in a little tighter for you and see if we can see any logos on it. Can't tell right now what we have there.
My chat
let's see, here
thing is not working that well, so sorry.
I think it's a Toyota.
I don't think we're going to be here too long.
Wider here. Yeah, he's going to park.
Oh.
So, feeling comfortable.
No, he's not.
Well, maybe not. He's going to take
How's
off
my mic
yet
sound?
again. So
is it okay?
It looked like he was comfortable enough to just kind of park it there, but maybe he saw the airship overhead and decided not to do that.
This is a suspect who's taking his time, Gil. We've seen so many pursuits where the driver is exceeding 100 miles per hour. Does it make it any easier for officials who are tracking him to plan it, to coordinate efforts to perhaps get that vehicle to stop?
All right, so we're going to do the prediction.
Yeah, the speed is good
but,
for
yeah.
It gives the officers opportunity to get ahead of the vehicle. He's not really driving at a high rate of speed, so but he's not really going down the same streets, so that makes
use
it
your
a
channel
little harder
points.
for the officers
15
to
minutes.
plan
Yay or
out
nay?
A spike strip ahead of the vehicle. A lot of times we'll see a car going around in circles on similar streets multiple times. That gives the
welcome
officers a chance to
Bendo
set
and
up
Stay
on those,
Stunned. Yo, El
streets.
Homer,
This
Jerry
driver
Louise.
Here he goes
How's
wrong
it going,
side
guys?
of the road. He's been driving on different streets in different parts of town.
Well, it looked pretty calm when he was on those residential streets, but now that he's on a main thoroughfare, West Olympic Boulevard, actually driving a little more reckless, crossing over the double yellow line, and you know, once he gets to an intersection and knows he's got a chance, he just takes off.
First, I thought this was almost over. Now I don't. E. Dexter, welcome. Thomas Young, Pillbilly, Clindy, Arab Prince,
that he's been on the wrong side of the
World
road.
War III.
Now he's starting to do that. So
and
that
Salesman and Beal, welcome Beal.
Quite a bit. I'll come
Danger
out wide
Tater,
again to see
always
if there's any
first
units directly
here.
behind. It doesn't look like it. At this
welcome
point,
Nest.
they've dropped back and allowing the airship to do their thing from above. But here he is into some heavy traffic. He's going to use that slow lane. Let's see if he sets up for a turn here now. He's going to continue straight on Olympic. So we're heading back towards downtown LA. And
downtown
we'll
LA.
And you mentioned that damage to the front end of the vehicle. No indication if he perhaps hit another car or how that damage came about from earlier, Gil?
Yeah, as far as what we heard,
is there any other news stations on this right now?
It didn't sound like there was any kind of collision with another vehicle or something on the street, but there is some damage. The LAPD airship was talking about it, letting the officers know on the ground to identify it. Once they get closer, they'll be able to see that damage. But at this point, we're not seeing it causing any problems for the vehicle. Here's a quick right turn, and this is going to be on Hobart. So Hobart from Olympic, and I'll come out wide. We'll keep an eye on the vehicle there. Still no ground units there.
It's still like early afternoon in LA.
At a distance, about to make that right-hand turn.
Fox
He's
as
going to go through that stop sign. So a little bit of erratic driving now, running stop signs.
There's a reason Kyle Busch hates school zones.
Okay, well, good thing I found that.
Just like there's a reason Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm.
Yeah, no, I don't play that. Do they have any audio here, though? I gotta sign up for an account on the KTLA website or something. Do they have a YouTube? They don't. I guess I can rely on the live police chase dude if I have to. He probably has an account.
tracking mode? Because we were watching just before we went on air, and they were following from a pretty a big distance. So at what point did they decide to
did someone follow?
pursue
Thank you.
the suspect?
Yeah, it's not clear when they. I think they were only actively pursuing this for maybe 10 or 15 minutes. There you do see a unit right there who may not even.
Oh, Western Olympic, they're near you, St. Louis? Right.
But a lot of times with LAPD, when they're dealing with
Big Merle, we're going.
Like a stolen vehicle, and you just have someone that is driving
really
crazy,
what is this from?
Especially in a congested area, they tend to back off on the ground. You know, for better or worse. I mean,
yo, Jimmy, Jay, what's up? Hey, guys on YouTube, just hit the thumbs up. Rapper welcome is super easy, I swear to God. There's like, maybe like 30 of you over there. You might as well just do it.
And we're still seeing this suspect
in a Ford Fusion. Is this a Ford Fusion?
So then it's like, well, is it even worth it?
I'm gonna switch us back to KTLA, assuming they're not. Oh, I actually have to sign up. There's got to be a better way. There's got to be a better way.
At Olympic, and you can see just how busy it's getting here as we get into rush hour.
And that's one thing, Desmond, that my first thought when I knew that this car was going through Koreatown, day or night, doesn't matter what day of the week, Koreatown is very busy with a.
Koreatown's busy, don't matter day or night. Why can't I hear it now? What happened? Son of a bitch, dude. All right. So scuffed. Sorry, so scuffed. We'll just do it this way.
Left turn lane and opposite lanes of traffic.
Yeah, I think at all points he or she is aware that they are traveling on a very congested street there, and at all points of
that other video is not.
Or a way out.
Oh, this is CBS. Not. This is a different news station.
So, it's a good thing when he or she stopped that he didn't run through the intersection, right? So at least they are stopping at some points here. But as you can see, picking up speed right now. Wow.
Wrong side of the road.
Wrong side of the road. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Center turn lane.
Oh.
Yeah, and then this is what's so frustrating when the police are in tracking mode, because now you have the worst of both worlds. You have someone who's still driving crazy. There's a pedestrian right there, just feet away from the person, and you don't have anyone behind this person if they decide to get out and run. They have a very high likelihood of escaping, or if they go into a parking garage or something like that. So right now, you wonder if LAPD is going to re-engage, or sometimes too
LeBron's recent tweet.
No way. Altogether. And I've heard watch commanders in situations like this just say, we're pulling off this completely, cancel the pursuit, take the helicopter off. We don't even want you tracking from the air and agitating the suspect. And I'm kind of wondering if that might be what LAPD does with this, because even in tracking mode, you saw that wrong way driving very close to pedestrians and other vehicles.
It's a stolen car, but is this worth it right now? I don't know.
Koreatown, it's one of the densest areas in all of LA County. So, of course, you're going to have a ton of cars out here. And Thursday, one of the busiest traffic days of the week, if not the busiest. So it just all kind of compounds into a pretty bad situation all the way
Somebody
around.
Else with him.
And based on what we're seeing right now, Desmond, it makes us think that perhaps he does think that he is still being pursued by police, just based on that driving into opposite lanes of traffic, picking up speed there. Now he's making a turn onto a street. Maybe he's making a U-turn here.
Back onto 7th, I believe.
Yeah.
All right.
Wait.
Now headed back eastbound.
Des, do you know if the driver is the lone occupant of the car? Is there somebody else with him or her?
We haven't been able to see, because we're dealing with, it just seems like almost.
All right, it seems like I can get us a little bit ahead.
You can see a little bit of damage to this vehicle as well. But it's kind of, it just almost seems like everyone in Los Angeles has tinted windows these days, or certainly the vast majority of people. I almost can't remember the last time we had a pursuit where someone didn't have tinted windows, so it's been very difficult.
Yeah, everyone has tinted windows in LA County somehow. What's going on with that?
I think they may have a visual of the suspect again. We heard them talking up here like they had lost eyes from the air for a minute, but you also see how you've not seen any LAPD vehicles in the immediate vicinity of this person. And LAPD, they fly pretty low when they're on these pursuits. This person doesn't have a sunroof, so they might have trouble seeing.
Breaking news right now. You are watching Fox 11 as we follow.
Fox finally got audio.
Or we're panicking them. Well, here's a unit right up ahead, but
this cop's probably not even involved in this, right? He just happens to be.
I mean, they are calling this out on the radios, kind of keeping everyone.
Yo, Mr. Wiggly, 74 months. It's like almost a year.
We got some tall buildings here. Let's see if we can
someday
this and try to
saw this and thought of you.
Yeah, okay, so on to Irolo Street from 7th, but
what
still in Koreatown. You know how narrow these streets can be, and coming up to kind of a weird intersection here. Well, yeah, there he goes. Okay, up around Wilshire. This is the second time we've heard of up around Wilshire Boulevard as well. But this is
we're looking at
getting pretty difficult to keep tabs on this vehicle, especially when there's nobody behind him.
Absolutely. Des, you mentioned LAPD Rampart Division earlier. Is that the area this?
All right, so they still got it here.
Yeah, we do have rain on the windshield here in the chopper.
You guys are going the wrong way right now.
Here, and one of the problems right now for the driver is, or I should say the pedestrians who are walking on crosswalks.
Oh, yeah, there's people going across the street.
There's no LAPD
hold on, we're going to have to go back to SkyCal.
They don't hear it.
Here in a second.
And so
fuck, this is a mess.
They don't know what's coming. It just looks like a regular car to them. But off he goes. Let's see, he's going to continue here. He's behind the building. He hasn't popped out yet. And there it is. Okay, and he's going to continue behind the buildings here. It sounds like, at least from what we're hearing, is that LAPD is pulling off this pursuit altogether, including the airship. So they have decided to let this driver go, at least for now, and even the airship has allowed.
Okay, so this is over.
To go its way.
Everyone's leaving. Okay, I'm not too surprised. Milky, what's up? These people are running. Are they involved?
Yeah.
Yo, Crypto Mando, welcome, and Leroy, welcome. What's going on, guys? OG, welcome. Yo, what did you miss? Not a lot. Honestly, not much. This guy driving around in Koreatown. Yeah. And he's in kind of an area where the news chopper is going to have some trouble following him. And apparently the police have given up. So let's see if we can get any more info.
Dangerous factor here if we're going to have some wet.
Altogether. The
afternoon.
Airship,
we know it's always busy in that area. So
is that the airship as well has pulled off? Is that correct, Jim? Yeah, they pulled off and have let this driver go for now. So
they've let him go.
And it looks like the driver is comfortable here on New Hampshire. Yeah. Yeah, no bailing, no running out of the car and leaving it. It looks like the driver's pretty comfortable now. He's probably looking out his windshield, out the windows for that airship and just not seeing it, and feeling pretty comfortable at this point.
Yeah, they got him here. They got him on CBS as well. Let's see what they're saying on CBS.
Yeah. It sounded like they were even pulling off with the helicopter as well, because of just the danger and like I was saying, it's just becoming very common for LAPD, especially when we get into these kind of dangerous situations with the public. If we're not talking about a violent suspect or something like that, where a lot.
Okay. Here we go. Where are we going?
It looks, putting on a hoodie and running under this tree. Might be going into this building here. It's hard to say. But didn't park very well. Just kind of nosed it in a little bit and haven't seen it come out yet.
Yeah, CBS kind of lost it. They kind of lost it. So, okay. These news stations are a mess, dude. All right. We're happen to be on the best one. Wait, is that them again? That's them again. They're going back to the car.
Yeah, they never try to make. Yeah, they never tried to make entry into that building, but hid under that tree. I don't know if they met someone there.
Right. What did they do?
Just car and feeling like they need to run back to the car because maybe they think the LAPD is right on their tail still. So, but look how he's driving though. He's not trying to go.
You would think someone could tell them, hey,
kind of blend in right back into
they're not following you anymore.
So it could be like Glenn said, seeing our helicopters overhead might give them the impression that we're the police, and deciding to jump back in the car and take off. But here's a right-hand turn. This is 8th Street from New Hampshire, and now he's kind of giving it a little gas here. So yeah, still the driver pretty nervous.
All right, but did the police just give up? Is this no longer a police chase? Sometimes they say that, and I just don't quite believe it. So sometimes that can be a little misleading. Yeah. Is it media chase? That's a no. Well, yeah. I don't know, Tusk. That's a tough one. Sometimes if it's media chase, I just give it I just refund points. Because I have a hard time believing that the police are going to let them go for long.
Yeah, we're still monitoring. Yeah, go ahead.
They do this, and then it's like, oh, all of a sudden there's another police department that decided they wanted to do it.
No, Glenn. I just asked my pilot to see if he saw the LAPD airship come back into this, but they have not. And as far as I can see, I'll come out wide, keep the car there in the center of the screen. From what we can see in the picture here, no vehicles anywhere near him, any LAPD vehicles anywhere near the vehicle.
This was a Bonnie and Clyde chase. A man and a woman jumped out. Okay, somehow KTLA is really on top of this, better than the other news stations. So shout out to them, doing better than CBS and whoever else is out there.
Yeah, it might be that the driver
Fox
knows that the freeway's pretty packed right now. In fact, both directions now. I can see out my door to the left. So he's traveling westbound here on 8th Street, and the 10 freeway is a couple miles out to our left. So he's got quite a distance to go to get to the 10, but it looks like he has no interest in driving that direction. And with no police behind the vehicle, there's no reason for that driver to try to escape that way. Maybe the driver is thinking about going to a location, maybe a home or an apartment.
I don't know. What do you guys think about if it's...
Now that he doesn't see any police anywhere around him.
Why they get back in, who knows? But, Dolly... man, why do I not have water or stuff in here? Actually, I do have a little bit. I got some water right here. Hydrate time. Did not taste very good, but
yeah,
okay.
For sure. The vehicle seems to be still drivable with the damage on the front. I did see he made a turn.
Not a lot of points, yeah. No, there's only 3 people went in on this.
Little bit, but it's really
so
not
I think I
will
delete it.
As I zoom in here,
not many people willing to risk points
like
today.
So the vehicle's still drivable.
A little disappointing.
Now he's northbound here on Manhattan Place. Again, staying like you said, Karine, kind of staying in this area of town, kind of circling around at times. Here he is back on 7th Street.
Yo, Crypto Mando.
So this might be the area where he might end up jumping out.
Well, yo, thank you. Oh, are they stopping again? Yo, thank you. $10 super duper chat. Yo, I appreciate it. That's crazy. On YouTube, anybody super chat, and it doesn't happen too often, but thank you. So, wow. You had no message, just the
no LAPD behind him, so there's no reason to drive that way. Just maybe.
But this guy doesn't know there's no
LAPD.
LAPD.
A stolen vehicle makes him nervous to drive that way. But at this point, a very quiet 7th Street here at Gramercy Place, and he's going to come up.
And by the way, anybody on YouTube, if you want to become a channel member,
but again,
super
no
cheap and easy.
inside.
It just costs like $1. If you got $1, help me out. You get like. Can use some emotes in the chat. I have some.
Looks like he wants to make
and
a
then
left
also you get like this cool badge next to your name, which I actually think is pretty cool. So windshield tinted. Is it? And PK, what's up? It's raining there. Yeah, there's a little bit of rain.
Right turn.
There's a little bit of rain. Street View car, this one? I don't know, was there one?
we're now westbound on 8th Street from Bronson, and we'll see if the driver decides. I have a feeling he's going to make a left-hand turn at some point here.
I wonder how many police chases are on the Google Street View.
Really giving himself that big pocket there in case he needs to escape. So I'm thinking the driver's a little paranoid, thinking that the LAPD is going to come around the corner any second.
Yeah, I would be thinking that too. Even if they're saying that the police were not like following them, I don't trust it. I don't believe them all the time.
Intersections.
They say that, but really, does some other police department want to just show up and be like, actually, no? So, yeah, imagine crashing when you're not being chased, like you're still running as if you're being chased. Wait, yeah, here's a cop right here. Yep.
Okay, well, I don't know if that Olympic officer saw him make that illegal turn and now he's following him, or if this Olympic
he's definitely following him.
That's the perceived vehicle. We'll see.
He's definitely pursuing him. But this car, like whatever lights it has on the top, it like must be super thin.
Oh, yeah, we're behind a stolen vehicle.
Like you don't see the normal like thing on the top.
Oh yeah, they just called it.
They're back chasing again, right? It's always like this. Swear to God. All right, so we have to do the yes on this one.
I do hear Olympic officers talking about it now. Behind a stolen vehicle, asking for an airship and backup on it. So they are now in pursuit.
It happens all the time, man. I called it.
I want to believe that if he did make that illegal left turn with that officer behind him, that this officer.
Okay, now we're gonna do. Will this chase last for 30 minutes? So that just means another like 8 minutes,
here,
right?
And waiting for
he just ran a red light.
Back into this, and other officers as well. So from Rampart officers that were initially in pursuit, letting it go completely, to now an Olympic officer from
if anybody's
LAPD,
here not following on Twitch, hit the follow. Gonna get pulled over for a legal turn now, yeah. Wow. He's back. They're back.
Yeah.
Yo, Crazy Tune, thank you.
With this and the driver being paranoid, thinking that any minute an officer will come by.
Yo, another one.
I'm
Murph, thank
nervous.
you.
Maybe he saw that unit coming, but I really don't think that officer knew that that was the pursuit vehicle from Rampart. I believe.
Same if you're watching on YouTube. I'm coming up on.
The driver made that illegal left turn from
163K.
And the pursuit.
Just need a few more.
Was on again. So here we go. Wrong side of the road coming up here. Well, he's going to go double yellow lines, and I'm listening to what the LAPD is saying. He's going to go wrong side of the road here, maybe, coming up to the intersection at La Brea. Well, he's going to be locked in there. Oh, he's going to cut off that car. So that
cop can't do all that. Nope, he's going
to.
He
tries to get through, and the driver accelerating away from him. But definitely.
Damn, he's really driving crazy now.
Pursuit. Past La Brea here on Olympic, and he's going to weave through the traffic. And now I'm hearing the airship is back overhead, calling the pursuit.
Police back already. That didn't last long. And if they had just stayed on it, they could have got him when they jumped out of the car. Like, seriously, they pulled over and got out of the car for like a whole minute. Maybe longer. Yeah, got down to 1 star and then took a illegal turn, and all of a sudden it ramped up again. Back to 5. You know what happened? Oh, super chat. Yo, again? Thank you. Who was that? Jimmy. Yo, I appreciate it. Didn't grab a pole when they got out. Damn, he's really going fast now. Like over 70. Okay. What's going on the other news stations at this point? They're off. They quit. CBS, they quit. No, they're back. Okay. They might
the suspect, and then for whatever reason they got back in the car and continued to drive, and now we are back in pursuit again, and kind of endangering everyone and themselves. Just a very curious situation when it seemed like they had a very high likelihood of getting
There's
away.
The cop on the other side of the street.
Reacquired that stolen vehicle without all of this danger, but here you can see this suspect, the unit that is back here, and now they're stopped at this light, but any opportunity they taken to be able to get through traffic. Had a couple of close calls here while we're off the air, up to 60 miles an hour. We're just getting deeper into rush hour traffic in one of the densest areas of LA.
Yo, thank you, Chris, for
all the way around for LAPD,
subbing.
for the suspect and for the public. Juan and Mike.
And Des, there is an LAPD helicopter back overhead. It's interesting to see, and we'll have to try to figure out what changed. Though this may be what changed. So I was just talking
you're
to
over here on
Simon Desk, and it was LAPD
Twitch,
Rampart units that started this originally.
Yo, thank you,
and this is an LAPD Olympic unit that picked it back up. So it's unclear if Olympic Division said they would take it, or if this George unit from Olympic didn't totally realize that Rampart had already been chasing this, or what have you. But now this is a different unit from a different division that initiated this pursuit. And again, that Slick Top unit, it's a George unit. That's a gang unit for Olympic Division. So now we've got Olympic Division that's chasing it. You've got that airship that is back overhead. It is the same one that was chasing it.
Yo, I can't thank you. Subscribe with Prime.
Yeah, when you say gang unit, the George,
Yo, everybody, if you got
unit,
Amazon Prime, you get one sub every month for free.
Thing, or
I mean, it's not free because you pay for Amazon Prime, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. I mean, the George units, they don't generally respond to radio calls.
Right
they don't take 911 calls. They kind of do their own thing and try to effectuate enforcement on gang issues. So
I appreciate it. You only get one per month.
That this is
you used it here. That's pretty
theft,
cool.
or at least one of the suspects is, and that's why they kind of wanted it. It's a little bit hard to tell. They didn't make that kind of clear at all when they began re-engaging in it. But yeah, now we're moving significantly further west from where we were.
They are
we're
kids?
In the
Did they
Robertson
say that?
area right now, just south of Beverly Hills. So moving at a good clip westbound on Olympic now, guys.
Mike, it was unclear earlier exactly how many people were
in
this
Yin Yang,
vehicle.
welcome.
The driver,
yeah,
obviously,
thank you.
But question was there a passenger? Was there someone in the back seat? And earlier, our chopper got a nice close-up view of the front windshield. We clearly saw the driver and someone in the front seat. So do we know for sure? At least two we saw. Are there more in the back seat?
At least two. We haven't heard. I know that there is a difficult time because you can see how dark that tint is all the way around the car, which,
I feel like this channel, they don't know they got out. I don't remember them showing it. That's right. They were having trouble seeing it.
While things slowed down briefly around that Waymo, wrong side of the road now. See, and this is the kind of driving that's going to get this canceled again. This is now, and we're even in the city of Beverly Hills. So
bike lanes,
wrong side of the road.
That's
welcome. What's going to get LAPD to not want to chase this anymore.
Yeah, if any of you are on YouTube and you didn't know about this, you can.
Especially when
I don't know.
They're weighing risk versus
you don't need to sign up
so
for
far,
a Twitch
account
right now for me.
I don't want to say only stolen, but
maybe
they're calling this stolen. They're not saying there was any violence in nature with it.
Just keep watching the chase. It's easy to miss it.
Which is what usually makes them continue these chases.
All right, did we make it past the 30? Not
you
yet.
still see that George unit that's
They
back
did
there,
look young, yeah.
Also on the wrong side of the road,
they
which
did.
is kind of interesting. But I would, based on the way the George unit is driving, I would assume that they are in tracking mode right now. Otherwise, that unit would be kind of right on his tail.
Right.
But they are pretty far back. We do have that police helicopter that is overhead. As we move through Beverly Hills, will be coming. If he stays westbound on Olympic, will be coming into Century City, which will be back into LAPD's jurisdiction. From the West LA division. So we'll see if those guys get involved or what they're going to do.
Oh, there he is going
around
a Waymo.
Whoa, there's
at what point does Beverly Hills police join in on this at some point?
They potentially.
Oh, where are they? Yeah, we can't see it right now.
But
where are? Oh, here they are.
Going up the side street. Yeah, they could if they wanted to. Certainly. Now we've talked about this before. Beverly Hills has a very, very sophisticated network of closed-circuit cameras in their city. So I'm sure they're well aware of what's going on. Whether or not they want to come in and get involved in this, we'll see. I for a second was going to say no because he was so close to leaving Beverly Hills, but now that we kind of went north and are coming back east, he's still in.
Yo, Whimsical, welcome. Yo.
Unfortunately, I can't hear Beverly Hills PD, so
hope you're doing well today. You're working or something?
Yeah,
probably
we're pretty
busy.
square in Beverly Hills now.
And Mike, earlier we were seeing the driver kind of sticking to that one area of Koreatown, Mid-City. Now he's into the Beverly Hills area. So now that he clearly knows he is
You're
being
in Century City right
again,
now?
He's changing his tactics.
What's up,
JP?
JP?
Nobody knows really where he's going. Again, blowing through some stop signs there and in a residential area, which also makes it just much more dangerous.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, also, we saw when we got off the air briefly, we were watching him, and he was looking up at the window, seeing who was overhead, seeing if anybody still had eyes on him, very aware that just because there's no units behind him, that there still potentially could be a helicopter. And we're back eastbound
KK, welcome.
Is this Wilshire?
Not too much has happened here. I mean, there's been.
Oh, wow. Driving into making a U-turn now.
They at one point the police stopped following. They got out of the car and went into some building or went somewhere, and then they came back out and got into the car again.
See if we can get another look inside here.
And then the police started following again.
I think it's a guy and a girl.
Yeah.
And he's had his hand on the girl's lap at times. I don't know if he's trying to kind of calm her down.
The cops are right there now.
So it's so challenging with all of these buildings here in downtown Beverly Hills, but you know, we're in the ritzy part
KTLA
here
is a much better view right now.
Shopping
Switch
district
back over there.
And, you know, again, we focus on that crash damage on the vehicle as well. So
not as much yapping over here, but we'll see what he's talking about. The quality should improve here any second. If not, I'm gonna have to switch back. Okay, there, that's better. All these people. Why are they so silent here? It's probably on their TV station, but they want me to sign up for something to watch it. So this is just a much better view than we have on CBS right now. So we'll stay here. "30 minutes has passed." Yo, thank you, Creep. Let's start the 45-minute prediction. They over by that Build-A-Bear that does Hello Kitty stuff? That's a thing? I didn't know that. They're on a first date. Yeah. If that's the case, that's crazy. This is like, you know how they say that people like fall in love, or like there's something about being on a stationary object. Like there's something about the adrenaline rush or whatever of a roller coaster that makes people like, you know, closer. It's like good for whatever. This has got to be like that times 100, right? I don't know why Gil is just silent now. They have nothing over here. Okay, this is still a better angle. We're just going to stay here. I'll try to get back on their main site, but like, this is like their feed for this rather than their whole entire news broadcast. I don't actually know if they're doing on the news right now with it. But they will give me ads and shit. So. Fuck KTLA. We'll listen to the other one.
Yeah, we're going to be heading into Westwood next, and all of the tall condo buildings, the area we sometimes refer to as Condo Canyon.
So this is a stolen car, by the way.
Into that area here very, very quickly, and you know, I know that some people treat that section of Wilshire like a miniature freeway, so if we continue here, it'll be kind of curious to see how the suspect treats that as well. Just finding any little bit of room they can to squeeze by to give themselves some more space here from LAPD. They do have a pretty decent amount of space here at the moment. There you see, though, the helicopter overhead on this one as we continue. So, yeah, we'll be over by UCLA and the Westwood area, obviously another very dense area. A lot of students over there. You know, hopefully they don't go into the downtown. Hopefully they don't go to the downtown Westwood area.
Yeah, even though the LAPD unit is, you know, staying a good distance away from behind, he's very cognizant of the overhead LAPD helicopter. As we
They're in a bad spot now. Passenger exit. No, the passenger didn't really exit.
Mike, are we usually, is our chopper
I mean, they did, but then they came back.
The police choppers?
Higher. So the
passenger exit square is usually like they let out a passenger in the middle of the chase and keep them.
We definitely want to give them as much area to work as they absolutely need.
I can
also tell you that as far as the units that are behind them, they are back there. I know Des pulled out a little bit. I think they just got stuck in traffic. But the watch commander, or I shouldn't say the watch commander, but the sergeant for the gang units is identified as George.
Gil is talking again? No? You don't have much to say. I guess we'll keep listening to them over here.
Because, you know, they've got the gang units are all slick top, right? So there is no traditional light bar on top of the unit. They always want a unit with a light bar to be the primary unit.
Whoa, come on.
Wilshire and Beverly Glen. I mean, as Des said earlier, any little room he can find to maneuver around these cars to get through
we're going to have to switch
back. That's what's keeping LAPD so far back as well. They're not going to make that same risk as this guy is to swap paint with somebody just to get past them.
And traffic's not going to get any better, Mike. He's going to hit Westwood. He's going to hit the 405 over there. UCLA area is very busy as well. Pedestrians crossing the street.
He like swerved through these two cars while they were parked,
we're just south
and
of
we
UCLA
haven't
campus
seen
right
it on
now,
this
so
feed
hopefully
yet.
he stays south of it.
But it happened on this feed like 30 seconds ago.
You know,
so
I thought LAPD may want to give this up considering that
I don't
they did
think we
already,
saw it on
and
that
they're
one yet.
absolutely not. They're
Maybe I'm just
bringing in more units. They are
attention?
still saying that they're in tracking mode, but they're bringing in more units to be involved in this and asking for units, as we said, with light bars.
But all of a sudden now KTLA is a much better fucking view again. Okay, we switch back.
Does that mean, Mike, whether they're bringing in extra units, they're going to stay
on a freeway now?
Learn something else about the driver, or
is that what this is?
Potentially, especially since George, the gang units are the ones that are primarily wanting this. So I don't know if they.
No. Yeah. Okay. I was just way behind on their feed, for whatever reason. We're gonna switch over there. I'm sorry I keep doing this, but it's annoying for me too.
Seeing them get on the freeway now at this point. They were just been, all around the mid-city area. We've covered a lot of ground on surface streets, in a record amount of time. Just
record amount of time? There's a record?
Like such a lunatic. And here we go. Continue now on the right-hand shoulder. It's going to be like this all the way up through the 101, probably most of the way through the 118, if, patterns are like they typically are here. So coming through Westwood and the Brentwood area, just along that right-hand shoulder. Hopefully they'll kind of, self-spike themselves if they hit some kind of sharp debris or something on the right-hand shoulder.
It happens pretty often, so what he's referring to is a lot of times there's a lot of debris on the shoulder. So heads up to anybody, I mean, you probably don't ever want to do this, but don't drive on the shoulder really fast like this. You usually end up hitting something that's going to fuck your tire up. So this is a very dangerous move.
So, we'll see, and obviously I also start to wonder how much gas is in the tank.
Out of gas.
The way they've been driving it, definitely going to be burning through that pretty quickly. But a lot of stop-and-go traffic. Here we go, northbound 405 on the west side.
Yeah, Juan, you were wondering earlier why we hadn't seen him get on the freeway before.
Here we go,
right? Probably after running into all the congestion on the side streets, he maybe figured I'd have a better luck on the 405, but we all know what the 405 is like. It's not much better. But at least,
thank you for following.
Saying he is driving on the shoulder there.
And right now it's moving, and it's incredible. The entire stretch of the 405 doesn't have a shoulder, so at some point he's going to have to merge back into traffic and then merge his way back out. Just passing, is it Moraga? Yeah, Moraga Drive. So, yeah, he's in the Bel Air area, still just a little bit north of UCLA, right, Mike?
Yeah, and you know what, I can tell you, we talk about do they have more information than we do, which law enforcement always does. But one thing that is, just for contextual purposes, one thing that's really giving us that clue now is my colleague on the desk, Caden, just tried to run the license plate through the DMV because it originally was reported to us as stolen. And so when we tried to run the license plate, the communicator that we deal with at the DMV said we're not allowed to give you any information on this car.
Interesting.
Which generally to us means that somebody has put a block on it, which prohibits us from
passenger exited, came back in. Yeah.
If there's an active law enforcement
I mean, the driver exited, came back
or some other thing like that. So it sounds like they have dealt with this car.
And Escape Up is right. If you be sure to have no flats if you're planning on
registered owner of it.
And perhaps that's why they continue to pursue him and not let him go.
Right. It sounds like there may be something more going on there than just a straight stolen. So that could be why the gang units wanted to take it back and realize that after the fact, or something to that effect.
So we're saying stolen. So does that still mean that the person behind the wheel?
If you're on YouTube, hit that thumbs up.
We don't believe so, no. And what it could, there's so many variations of what stolen means, right?
Maybe it'll help, you never know.
You took a random car, you don't know who the owner is, or stolen could mean you knew who the owner was, you targeted them, you stole it for that reason.
Artman,
which
yo,
would be if that registered owner is the victim,
getting the
which
chopper
could
thing
potentially
still
be why
doesn't
they
work.
don't want us to have the
Get rid
information.
of
Now,
it
I will
for
tell
right
you
now.
that doesn't always happen. There are
I'm
most situations
kinda
we're able to
with
run a
this
license
shit.
plate and get the registered owner, regardless of if that driver was a victim of a vehicle theft or not.
Disable it for
But if
now.
there are extenuating circumstances to that law enforcement is investigating, that could potentially be why they restrict the information.
I need to fix it.
Wow.
I know I say that
all
every
these different
stream.
factors that the police have to deal with, and whether or not this is the guy, the registered owner. Is he armed? Is he not armed? Did they switch
Artman, what's up?
license
Shout out to
plates?
Artman.
Does that plate belong to another car?
Awesome
You just
streamer.
don't know. I mean, it would be Terrible luck if you're just stealing a car willy-nilly and you just happen to steal a car that's been wanted in other crimes.
Right.
Big Merle says if we start changing the squares, one for driver getting out and back in would be a good square.
Said,
that is a really good one, yeah.
And deciding it is
I think that there's a lot of good ones.
At this point.
It just like becomes like, what do you get rid of? If you add one, what do we get rid of? But that is a really good one, right?
So they're going to continue.
That might be better than passenger exits, actually.
The Getty Center. Again, on the northbound 405.
Maybe we should replace passenger exit with like out and in.
He's going at pretty good speed so far. I mean, we know that can change at any minute. Yep. We know how congested this freeway can get here. But as Mike mentioned, it's unclear exactly where it started or where it was stolen from. But we do know that the LAPD Rampart Division initiated the pursuit and has gone through what one? We went through Mid-City, Hollywood, Koreatown, Beverly Hills.
Almost downtown LA, yeah.
Yeah, all over the place. And now on the northbound 405 going at pretty fast speeds.
Yeah, incredible speeds for the afternoon drive there in the carpool lane of the 405 northbound. Let's go back up to Desmond Shaw up in SkyCal. Des, can you give us an update there from your point of view? How does traffic look? How are things looking from SkyCal?
Yeah, so, I mean, we do have this kind of deceptive break in traffic that sometimes we get through the Sepulveda Pass, especially earlier in the rush hour time frame. But I think once we crest the hill onto the downhill side is probably where we're likely to see more brake lights. They're approaching the 101, the steep decline there. Everyone kind of rides the brakes downhill. So I think he's probably going to encounter that pretty quickly here as we are almost at the top of the Sepulveda Pass. And then, you know, the lanes a lot of times headed towards the 101 go very, very slow. And then the 405 itself, just kind of this like traffic accordion on and off up through
traffic
Noroff.
Accordion. I never heard that before.
We'll see what their plan is, but you know, is there a plan? This seems pretty aimless. I mean, it seemed like maybe the plan was to get a lot of you know, leash.
How long have I been live? Right now, my thing says that I've been live for less than 10 minutes.
LAPD,
what is going on with that? I guess I can watch it.
They had a lot of time. They got out of the vehicle. They got out of the vehicle. They were about to run, and then for whatever reason, there was no helicopter overhead.
Why
and then
did
back
it do
in
that?
they went, and then just kind of meandering all over the mid-city area, and then deciding to get on the freeway. So I'm not really sure there is a plan on this one. They were even in and out of a parking garage at one point, which, you know, is also pretty surprising.
Where do I have a list? Where do I have another
pursuit? So
rep where
here's some of that slower traffic I was talking about. Of course, you know, the carpool lane not nearly
my
as bad.
YouTube stream manager started acting
The next
goofy.
question will be if we're gonna
T-Dogs, welcome.
Northbound 405.
Stream F'd a while back. That's why.
Over to the 101.
Oh
Both
shit.
sides
Okay.
Of the 101, you know, pretty congested around the 405. There's still going to be
I didn't know
more
that.
traffic. Bottom line.
Okay,
for this
thank you.
Suspect to try to navigate around as they flee from the police.
Harry, welcome.
Des, how many LAPD units do you see behind the suspect at this point?
I'll just widen out for a second here and
okay,
see if
well,
we
it says
find
the YouTube one
any,
has
I
not
think they're
switched,
kinda
has
hanging
not
back.
reset.
I'm just hearing the
Unless
helicopter
maybe I
right now
refresh
kind of call
it
out
will.
to the streets as I don't want to widen out too
no,
much more.
all
but you
right.
don't
The
see
YouTube
anyone
one still says I
directly
started
behind
42 minutes ago, so
them.
we'll go by
So
that
they're
one.
just kind of keeping his location privy with the helicopter overhead, and then you know, we'll see if maybe when we get through some traffic or get into a better spot or back onto surface streets, if they move back in. But you know, if there's any good news, at least we're all headed the right direction right now. We don't have any of that, you know, head-on
4:27 p.m. my time.
Olympic. That was some of the most dangerous driving we've seen in this pursuit so far.
Yeah. Okay.
Mike, could we see the CHP possibly jump in on this one?
We're listening to that. Right now, they're putting it as what they call information only, which means they're not being requested. Well, as I said that, I just heard George 20 request notify CHP.
Oh,
so,
now the CHP
now they
going to
want
get
CHP
involved.
to take over. One of the issues why we're not seeing the units behind them is because they want a unit with a light bar to be the primary unit that is behind the car.
Makes sense.
What's interesting to me, though, is that they requested that unit back from Olympic Division. Even though we were in West LA Division, we were much closer to grab a West
better,
LA officer
buffering.
to be that primary with the light bar, but they requested it from Olympic Division.
Is my stream
and so
buffering?
That unit with the light bar, who's coming from essentially Koreatown, is now trying to catch up to the chase to come be that primary unit.
Okay.
So that's what it sounds like they're waiting for to go back into full-blown pursuit mode, is that unit with the light bar.
And that's an LAPD
And that's
unit?
an LAPD
Lights and
unit,
bar,
but
lights and-
again, coming from Olympic Division, which is back over by Koreatown.
Right,
so
right.
I'm not sure
No,
why
it's
they
not. We're
request
good.
one from West LA, which would have been much much closer.
See the live chase on Monday. Yeah, I streamed the whole thing.
To catch up. But obviously,
Texto,
the guy's still driving away from them. So we're coming over to the other side, which means they'll put us in like Van Nuys division, West Valley division. So we'll see if any of those divisions want to get involved. And then
I got the ABC one up now.
The supervisor.
It is a much better view. Let's try it.
CHP.
It's definitely a better view.
Said they want CHP to take over, but they're asking. See, now we're trying to they're asking to figure it out, to notify. Yeah, that's the question that's being asked now.
Hold on a second. Whoop.
Up towards Van Nuys, it really is bumper to bumper the further north he gets. A lot of folks heading home northbound 405 through the San Fernando Valley on a Thursday afternoon. This suspect, I think, is going to be motivated to get out of all of this traffic.
Absolutely, and there are moments right here watching with your video from Air 7. I mean, he has been inches away from some of these vehicles passing on the shoulder, if not maybe even making very light contact. So concerning to see that. And Chris, talking about the possibilities here of what does he do next? And you talk about Sepulveda Boulevard, or Ventura Boulevard, if he gets off like in Sherman Oaks or Encino, how dangerous that would be to pedestrians, the amount of people that are there throughout that corridor. That's got to be really concerning. From your experience, where do you see law enforcement say, okay, maybe this is too dangerous, or do you think they're locked in now and they're going to stick with it?
You need to lock in.
No, I think they still have the option of canceling this pursuit. They've already done it once, but they saw an opportunity to pick it up. The driving was dangerous. It was getting a lot of publicity, and they decided, you know what, let's get these two off the road. And so that's when the pursuit began again. And again, as we've been on the 405 for the last several minutes, it's virtually
stole a cheap car, mode.
Yeah. And in many cases, we see these pursuits go in and out of pursuit mode. So it really depends on the atmosphere around the
All right,
suspect.
have I been live for 45 now?
Yes.
Okay. We're going to do a 60-minute prediction. Congrats to everyone who said yes, which
that will really dictate their final decisions. So that airship is still doing all the work here, but since there's nobody behind him, they have the luxury of having those eyes.
We're going on to a
60-minute
prediction. How are there two almost hour-long chases in a row? This is rare.
They can position themselves.
Okay, if you're on Twitch, use your channel points. Yes, no.
Or once again re-engage with him. But
will this chase last for another 15 minutes?
On the freeway for the most part than surface streets. There's just so many more variables on surface streets with pedestrians this time of the day and all of the other factors. It's not an ideal situation, but rush hour traffic, especially considering the amount of traffic we're seeing here. But still, even despite that, the freeway is
everyone got a little bit different view on this, so that's nice.
Also, once California Highway Patrol does get involved, they will make an attempt to at least try and create a traffic break behind them, and that way you keep innocent motorists away from the pursuit vehicle.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You were just talking about the freeway being the safest location usually for these pursuits. It feels a little bit of a relief that there's not much of a shoulder there, and this person is sort of trapped inside the traffic, because we did see moments ago when they were in Beverly Hills, people didn't realize there was a dangerous driver behind the wheel. Now we see this sudden
405 at this time. Good luck. Yeah, it does not look good.
Maybe this person is trying to get an exit now because they don't want to be in this traffic. But again, we know this area. The valley is very busy, especially right now.
Yeah, at least the driver did pass the 101, so he bypassed the Ventura Boulevard option, but now up to Burbank Boulevard into Sherman Oaks. We'll be hitting Van Nuys. So now getting deeper into the San Fernando Valley, and the question is, when or if does he get off the freeway? But
check out my 7TV shirt, free shout out to 7TV. If you don't have the 7TV
much more trouble on the streets when you have all of those intersections
on Twitch, go for it.
Certainly safer,
they gave me this free
if it remains here on the freeway, also at the reduced speeds. The question is if and when CHP re-engages and gets back involved.
So two things are happening right here, to your point, Mark. CHP currently is trying to get into position. We don't see them yet, but they are trying. However, as they do that, he is inching his way back over and, sure enough, taking the exit ramp at Burbank Boulevard. So once again, despite their best efforts, California Highway Patrol can, if they're in the area, try and catch up with them. But in all likelihood, I would imagine we may see a West Valley LAPD or a Van Nuys unit get involved in this pursuit even sooner here, now that he is going to be back on surface streets. I think, like I said earlier, he got tired of all that traffic. He's had enough. He'd rather navigate surface streets. Again, who knows, where he's from, where he resides, what area he's most familiar with, but really not helping himself much here either. At Burbank Boulevard,
I've got a friend coming over to
still jam-packed here in the Valley. Traffic is really
busy
so
this
he
will
afternoon,
get to come
and
over and watch us police
just
chase for a bit.
Here
we'll have
a
guest.
An eastbound turn onto Burbank Boulevard. There's an LAPD unit.
Whoa! There's a cop right there.
That was actually CHP. CHP probably getting ready to intercept him on the freeway. Now coming right up head to head with him, face to face, as he was making that U-turn, or the CHP unit made the U-turn to try and pull the suspect over. And here he is, back in hot pursuit, lights and sirens blaring. That CHP unit, now code 3, behind the suspect again for the first time in about
CHP
5 or 10
in a mood
minutes.
today.
He now has officers trying to chase him down, and we know every time we have seen that, he starts to push the pedal to the metal and starts to really drive much more aggressively.
This is why people do. This is why the police do tracking mode.
This pursuit, one primary unit right behind him. Additional units
will
make their way over here. If they choose to commit to this pursuit, they will make their way over here, and they will continue to try and end this peacefully. But right now, once again, it looks like that primary unit might have fallen back a little bit, having a hard time keeping up with these erratic moves. He keeps crossing over those double yellow lines, briefly going into oncoming lanes of traffic here, and sure enough, we're continuing to see lots of busy city traffic and pedestrians and everything else you can imagine up here in the Valley as he navigates these streets.
Yeah, I mean, to stay with the vehicle, obviously the airship is there with you, but for the ground units to stay with them, they got to drive just as erratically, which is incredibly dangerous. And you saw there from your view that we do now have several in pursuit. You really feel for
half a dozen CHP units.
Absolutely.
Half a dozen?
Somewhat heartbreaking to realize the age of these individuals. Again, if you're just joining us, we do know that the two people in the car, at least two of them, they got to be young, potentially juveniles or teenagers. There's a male driver, a female in the passenger seat.
Oh, goodness.
And I would estimate, 18, 19 years old. Just
okay,
the
so they got a
the
different
video there on the right side of your screen.
Okay, this is a much better view. Yeah, they do look super young from this angle. Okay, I couldn't tell from the angle we were watching, but yeah, they look really young
went through Beverly Hills and now into the San Fernando Valley.
Yeah, and going through these intersections and taking such extreme risks for everybody involved. Chris, you said we saw the black and whites behind. I'm not sure.
Need them to quit doing that right away.
I know on the right-hand side we're seeing a different video, but we know that is it CHP or is it the LAPD that's behind him? Did you say CHP?
It might have been a combination of both, to be honest with you, which is a little bit unique. But CHP was behind him initially. I think
I feel like we're behind here, or I just missed something
that are going to be coming into the frame here. Those are likely going to be.
Have we seen them go through a parking lot yet?
That continue this pursuit.
Or is it right here?
So CHP saw an opportunity there, but LAPD was already in position, and it seems to me, just based on the number of units
we are
traveling
way behind here. I'm going to switch us over here.
They were really
it might just be that I need to
here.
refresh.
Now he's in a private parking lot here, getting off near Van.
Yeah, they're just behind.
That's why the marks on my back. So, anyway, but yeah, it's just a matter of time now before this person. You can tell he's desperate now. He's out of that safe area that he was in, and now using driveway and not heading for that freeway.
All right, so we're now on Van Owen Street at the intersection of Haskell. And
thanks for following.
Like I said, the later the day gets, the more traffic he's going to have to deal with.
Where am I hearing all
which is not going to make it easy for him.
And more pedestrians, so that mixture, it's definitely concerning at this hour.
Okay, I don't know.
And Gil, what do you see on the ground? Any more units, or have they completely pulled back?
They look really
young,
right?
The LAPD is now talking on the Van Nuys division frequency right now. The airship is talking to units there.
Replays.
Now he's traveling into, he's west of the 405 freeway.
Oh my God.
Going into the West Valley division of
Can
LAPD.
We not
now he's going towards the Van Nuys
We're
Airport.
going to switch again.
We have some
air
traffic to contend with here, but he's continuing
we will
westbound.
Refresh this real quick.
And
make sure we're
at this point,
on the right
still
timing,
not seeing units that are engaging, but we'll see what the West Valley division decides to do if they try to get units.
In Van Nuys, speeds not terribly fast, but definitely not safe. You can see him right there.
And he uses his indicator every once in a while. He puts his flasher on there to change lanes, which is another interesting move, right? He's going, driving very dangerously at times, and then he's using his indicators, letting people know, even right here, trying to get into that turn lane, that center turn lane, he used his indicator, letting drivers know that he was going to make a move into another lane.
Wow.
And Mike, if this is a straight stolen car, right? Like you said, if he would have just walked away, there's no connection to it. I'm guessing with officers' caseloads, they're not going to be fingerprinting the car and hoping to find the person who stole it, right? I mean,
yeah, I mean,
how far do you go?
Right, it all depends. I mean, certainly they could, especially if there's, if there's a trend in the area of cars getting stolen and they think it's by the same group of people. Certainly they may take that extra effort to be able to do that. But yeah, I mean, if this guy, just hypothetically, if the theft wasn't caught on camera, if there's no video evidence of the person who did it, that's why we see them so frequently go into parking garages at malls and things like that, because they can so easily blend in with the crowd because nobody has any idea what they look like. So the fact that they have abandoned this car, got back into it, pulled into a parking garage, and chose not to abandon it, they're really tight with the car. And the fact that
Ziggy,
the
how it's going? How's it going?
The gang units
Frozen
decided to
Guitar Tone,
re-engage.
cool name.
Also,
Thank
just
you for
really
following.
makes me think that there is something more with this driver and with this car than just the stolen vehicle aspect of it. Because rarely do we see, once a pursuit has been totally terminated and the airship has been told to disengage from it, very infrequently do we see them all of a sudden decide to start
Rapper, do you think that they stole their parents' car?
I would venture to guess that after
Yo,
it got
what?
shut down,
5
they looked into it
subs,
more,
thank
somebody,
you.
Figured it
Yo,
out.
I
that they
really
want
appreciate
this
that.
person, and then those gang units went back after him.
Continues to
Practically doubling my sub count. Holy shit, thank you.
405, I think out of Beverly Hills, correct?
I didn't realize, Nighty, you have
Boulevard here, and he's been in the Valley, Lake Balboa now. Again,
a founder
as
badge
Devin
here?
was
You've been
telling us
around
earlier,
here.
covering an incredible amount of
I know that when I
distance,
became
not
partner,
only
a bunch
on
more
surface
people
streets,
got
but
it.
on freeways
But
as well.
I
Was
didn't
able to
realize
make
you
it
did.
through the Sepulveda Pass on what normally is always a very busy drive up through the pass into the valley here, and here we go.
They're really
Heavier
this is a tight
traffic,
fit,
and
man.
he's just kind of stopped here, Mike.
Got sandwiched between that car.
This is a tight fit. Back up.
Is he
What's
stuck?
going on?
Well, it looks like those two side mirrors might be able to.
What are you trying to do? Like,
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he was lucky he didn't.
If
I mean,
one
that
is a minor
person was
PK,
pretty lucky. They
maybe.
just did
But I
some
mean,
nasty
they look like they were
damage to their
partners in crime when they
vehicle
jumped out of the
there,
car.
but, yeah, I'm still.
It looked
waiting
like
to
Bonnie and
see
Clyde.
If LAPD, they had been really close there, but I wonder if they kind of backed off for a bit because we were right by an elementary school and a high school, and there's still a lot of students out there. It makes me think that maybe that's why they backed off a little bit.
Yeah,
But I'm
it's
still hearing
totally.
call out the streets. We all kind of had to deal with Van Nuys Airport as
Right.
well.
Do the
but we're now
parents
well
know that
west
they're
of
being
them,
chased by
so
their kids are
hopefully
being
we can
chased by cops?
stay out of there
Probably
here.
at this point, especially they may have
yeah,
stolen the
so,
parents' car.
Here
I
we
mean,
are
you know what I
in
mean.
the
It's
heart
not
of San
really
Fernando
stolen the
Valley,
car,
Van
but
Owen, tons of signals out here. You can see just how much
borrowed
traffic
it in
there
a
is as we
scenario
come
they
up
were
to
really
White
not
Oak and
supposed
just
to.
squeezing through any opening
Or
they
it could
can
be
find.
another
Now
family
making the
member's
turn up
car.
onto White Oak as we kind of head towards the Northridge area. More of a wide open street here. And still not seeing those units directly behind the suspect, guys.
He doesn't seem to have any
I
particular
tend to think that
direction,
most the
just
things
very
that they'd
now.
say about
Not
chases,
now,
like
exactly.
what
Now, earlier, I
the
questioned
reason
if
for
he
the
was
chase is,
familiar,
it tends to
maybe
be
with
much
the
more
Koreatown
mundane than
area
it sounds.
because he kept circling and
Assault with the deadly
taking
weapon
those
could just be
streets, but
something
now, as
boring.
we've seen, he's kind of gone.
Same with
anywhere he can
stolen
go.
car.
Ooh.
Like, there's just a bunch of these things that sound really.
That was the car that was next to
Whoa.
him earlier.
Yep.
Oh.
Oh. Yeah. I think this
we'll
might.
add road rage
Wow,
to
this is
this.
crazy.
It's a road rage situation here.
Pedestrian interaction.
Wow.
So here's someone, if they're just a vigilante kind of taking this into their own hands, who I don't know if
Well,
they
this
were just
changes
having a
things.
bad day,
When
and
this
was
happens, these
kind of
people
the
start
last
causing
straw. But
wrecks.
Look at this.
And they're just
going
gonna keep
all
going
around
like
it.
this too?
I haven't seen anything like this in a long time with somebody else getting involved in this is just really heightening the danger.
Don't do this.
In all of this. So
When
I
the
mean, let's
suspect
see how-
sandwiched between that
how
car,
long
did he
is this
do any
person gonna-
damage to the other car? Maybe he did some damage.
Oh, did he? Oh my
and
God, he's
that
going
other
so
car
fast
thought,
now.
Oh, he's just taking off and trying to run away. Who knows?
Well, really quick, guys, that's not the same car.
Oh, it is?
No, I just played back the video from Desmond's thing. That's not the same car. So
It's definitely not the same car.
Just asked, do we have any unmarked
If this person tries to stop him, this is Good Samaritan shit.
Like,
They're not giving up.
Especially not one that's yelling out the window like that.
Well, like you said, maybe it's a vigilante.
Or maybe it's the victim. Maybe it's the victim of the stolen car. You know, like I don't know if this person who's got their car stolen has been watching this on TV and is now deciding to chase down their own car. It's super random. But
so random how this
car
person
just
and I
made
saw
it
some
so much more dangerous.
Yeah, some gestures.
Some gestures being made. Obviously, there was some words being exchanged, and I mean,
it looks like vigilante to me.
Whoa! What happened there?
Uh-oh.
I don't even know what happened.
What's happening here?
Now they're out and running. Hopefully this is the end of it. So, look at this guy now. Here he comes.
This has got to be a cop,
chasing him.
right?
Just a private citizen who is chasing
No way.
Chasing both of them.
The driver
into this
is this their parent?
And Heartland. Really crazy.
That's wild.
Des, I think she got the other one.
No, she did not.
Well,
did they, Mike?
Yeah, maybe that was the I think that was the passenger. But this is the
Whoa.
driver here.
Whoa!
Okay.
All right,
that
it's
is
over
it.
now.
Finally.
Done.
All right. LAPD.
Wow.
Damn. All right, now show the other one.
Finally. Oh yeah. I mean.
Show the other one.
So glad this is finally over with. You see all of the different random factors that can happen when these continue as long as they did. For whatever reason, that person was really
That was literally a foot chase. I mean, not the type that we normally see.
And, may have ended up forcing the end of this pursuit, willing to do.
I think that was a Good Samaritan.
LAPD was not. And
Wait. This
that
is
person.
Who's
what?
No, this is. I think.
That's the person who was chasing him.
The person that was chasing
the suspect.
SUV.
I bet you it's
and
their
they just
car.
came and maybe took the.
Where's the SUV now?
Took the keys out. Wow, this is just a
Where'd the SUV
really,
go?
really unique ending to.
Where did they
this
park?
Pursuit, and here's the driver.
Where's the passenger, Des?
Yeah, where's the passenger, Des?
We thought that
Des, you're really bad at keeping track of two people.
Yes.
Initially, we were sticking with the driver, so we weren't able to see for
sure. Oh, right there,
sure.
underneath you.
That's the person that chased them again.
Yeah. And you know, Mike, we know this is not recommended, but it sure was effective to bring this person.
It sure was effective, but it could have got somebody killed. Yo, they just parked right here. They just parked right there. But then they came back and moved the car. Oh, they're arresting them too. Yo, they're arresting them too. Stop showing replay. Stop showing replay. Stop showing replay. Okay.
What they were doing was highly illegal as well. I mean, it was effective, but definitely
stop showing the replay.
Not legal. And so
okay, can I get anywhere that's not going to be doing that right now?
Well, they're talking it out.
So wait, hold on. Now they're talking to this person. Fuck.
It's unclear what role they played in it at this point, but you can see the driver's vehicle in it at this point, but you can see the driver's vehicle. This is the pursuit vehicle that was going. I clocked him 80 miles an hour there, and he decided to try to make that right-hand turn. Couldn't make the turn, hard on the brakes, went up onto the sidewalk, and then they bailed out. As far as the white SUV, though, I don't see it at this point. That driver.
Yeah, I was wondering what happened to the SUV.
There that was running after him. So
what happened?
There's
the better
passenger
right
from
now.
the SUV, and then the two suspects from the pursuit vehicle are in the.
And what the hell happened to the other passenger?
To communicate with him, and now she is being taken into custody for her interference in the situation. Though it did appear from that shot a moment ago that the vehicle that she was in has also now left the scene.
Right,
and she came and took the keys out of this car. She came and took the keys out of the car.
Engaged in this pursuit. They were the Good Samaritan, if you will, that engaged in this pursuit. That driver had a white short sleeve shirt on, and that's what I viewed. So again, I don't even know what type of charges somebody would face, but it is.
Where's the female that jumped out of the car and ran?
Participate in a pursuit. Chris, this was, again, we saw that this
probably had someone else in it. Oh, World War III, you're probably right.
That's why you lock your gates, because of something like this.
The passenger jumped out, not the driver?
Yes, something motivated that person to
get
involved. I believe the driver was the actual suspect in the gray hoodie.
Okay, that's her.
Two females. So we have a passenger here.
That's the passenger.
Two females total in custody, one male in custody, and now LAPD really has to go back and kind of sort out who's who here to make sure.
This is the girl who was in the car,
and then make sure there's
and then the boy who was in the car is up here, and then there was the lady who got out in the hoodie and chased them.
Almost.
And she
really
absolutely
young,
not. Well, I mean, we were wondering, is that a police officer? What? Absolutely not. Just got cuffed.
16, 17.
And we saw her go over and take the keys out of the car.
As expected.
Right, we literally saw her go over and take the keys out of the car that this kid was driving.
We did not see any major crash to end this thing.
And that was so stupid.
Feel good about that one.
Like, that lady should not have gotten involved with this, because, she really could have, that could have gone so badly.
To Southern California this evening, we will have the very latest at 4.
The driver of the SUV was a guy. What, did he stay in? And he stayed in? Yeah, I think, it's probably like a mom, right? That makes the most sense. Oh, they went away from it too. What news station is still on it? They're still on it over here. They're showing replays and stuff. What do you got for us over here?
Gone, Mike. I didn't see it.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Well, no doubt they're going to get some answers from that passenger.
Yeah, see, it was the lady in the hoodie.
They've taken into custody, saying, "Who are you? Why were you chasing? And
right.
where's the other?"
Beal said that he likes that it was the person who had their car stolen.
We've seen every scenario.
And
here we have super interesting case.
We'll figure something out.
Mike, I know you guys on the desk. We're going to figure this one out. We're going to be.
He almost got hit by that cop car too.
But luckily, as Ray said,
won't they be following the SUV? Yeah, salesman. That's a good question. Won't they be following the fucking SUV by this point? Because it was a guy in a short sleeve shirt, and he just drove away, right?
All right, and we'll have all the latest on CBS LA at 4 p.m.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
It says there's female passenger. The passenger is the girl in the black shirt, right? And so here's the thing. I think she was the owner of the car because she came and got the keys out of the car. But I think it also could have been a mom. It could have been both, right? So could have been both the owner of the car and their mom, or one of their mom, whatever. It's very possible. All the news stations went off of this really fast, so we're not going to get to see any more. But, yeah. I think they bumped the SUV. I didn't see that, but maybe. I didn't see that. I don't know. I mean, if they bumped your car, you wouldn't act that nuts, right? Yo, Nighty, again. Oh, shit. Prediction was a no. It was a no? Okay. Thank you, Nighty. I missed it. I have so much that I have to pay attention to right now. Okay, so it was a no? Yeah. It was a no, right? Because I've been live for 65 minutes. It was over 5 minutes ago that they jumped out of the car. Probably, yeah. How long did it last? Let me rewind, actually. Just want to verify. But the chase has been over for well over 5 minutes. It's close. But yeah, it was over 5 minutes. Okay. It was right there at the mark, at the 60-minute mark. Hold on. Stopped at 12 minutes. Wait, huh? It was 12 minutes. I think that's right. Because, all right, I'm looking at my YouTube stream right now. Okay. So if I've been live now for 66 minutes, and I just refreshed this a moment ago, so it would have been a little less than that. You can jump back 7 minutes, and it's over. So, yeah, it's a no. So 35K to 5K. Congrats to the people who said no. Who was it? Who won? Tusk won. Who else? Let me see. How do I not see more? Summary. Tusk scored 18,000. Contra got 11. Clindy got from 896 to 6,600. Damn. All right. All of you really cleaned up. That was a huge win for all of these people. Look at that. You guys killed it. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. I got some stuff to do. Got some work to do. Some stuff like that. Do you ever do follow-ups? Sometimes on a YouTube short. All right, Hydrate 90, thank you. Thank you for the gifted subs for everything today. Thanks to Crypto on YouTube for the super chat. I'm gonna raid us over to Jenny real quick. And yeah, see the problem, Beal, like I'd love to know what it's all about too, but the news rarely follows up. So usually someone, I don't obviously really watch the news in LA, but oftentimes someone will link me when there is a follow-up, but it's so rare. It would be nice. Thank you for following Texto. I appreciate it. It would be really nice if the news would do a better job following up. Seemed like this one would, like, you know, be a good one to follow up on, because I'd love to know, who was this lady? What's going on? The news, one of the news stations actually did start doing a show where they like replay the chase and do a follow-up and tell all about it, but I don't know. I saw it one night and didn't really love it. So anyway, Richie, thank you. Nighty, Salesman, everybody, copy the raid message. We're going to go say hi to Jenny. If I go live again tonight, it's because there's another police chase, in which case you should probably come and watch it with me. And yeah, that was a great chase, right? It was a good one. All right.